So this is Ramon. Channel is Alpha Centurion 4, and we are discussing books that changed my life. Not necessarily the best written books or the most entertaining books, but books that had a profound effect on me that I would recommend you read as well. Also, this is not a all-encompassing everything I've ever read kind of thing. This is just only the impactful ones. For instance, the books that I'm going to show you right now, I would also say that books that I enjoyed were everything from the prose Edda, from the Poetic Edda to the Mesopotamian myths, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Hasis, and other books like that I really did like. But they didn't change my life. These three books, though, did. The first one is the Iliad, and I prefer the W.H.D. Rouse translation. The Fraggle one is terribly boring. I love this one. Yes, it's mythology. Yes, it's required reading for almost all high school students, or was, at least when I was in high school. But you can't go wrong with the Iliad. The Odyssey, on the other hand, is my favorite book of that time and my favorite character. This one was a little boring. This one was very fun. I styled myself after Odysseus after reading this book. I acted and spoke like him for a very long time. I really liked Odysseus. I would also include in this list Hamlet, because Hamlet changed my life profoundly way back in the day. And Hamlet and Odysseus kind of go together, just kind of controlled insanity. But another book that I read when I was reading these, other than Hamlet, would be Theogony and Working Days. This is the source for many ancient Greek myths, and it is a wonderful read. But what is profound is not so much just the myths. It's actually works and days. I actually got into gardening because of works and days. I just wanted to try out the stuff that's recommended, and it works. It's a practical tool for gardening and for living a life in ancient Greece, a Mediterranean life. And it profoundly changed the way that I do things. Basically, I started becoming a geek or a nerd at about this time. Before then, I wasn't really into reading. Now I have a love of comic books and a love of mythology, thanks to these. Then we get into more philosophy, and I am truly grateful that I did not run into these books for the first time in college. I'm glad I got to read them first on my own. And the first is going to be Socrates, the stuff about piety, stuff that I really, really, really like. But when I would read the Euthyphro, and I would read the Phaedo, and read the Symposium, when I would read these in college, in my college texts, it didn't have the same impact as when I read for the first time on my own before I went to college. I kind of had this lost year and a half of where I was just living my life and learning things and working and having an apartment. And that's what I was doing. And Plato, Socrates, I should say, and Aristotle were a big part of that. Aristotle's ethics changed my life again, helped me become a better person. Mill and others would have influence, true, but really it was Aristotle's ethics and Socrates, the words of Socrates, Plato's writings, that helped me become a moral person and a moral agent in my own life. Reading the Bible shocked me and shook me out of my sins. Made me realize that Edgar Allan Poe and Shakespeare were not the end-all be-all of reality, that I wasn't living in a TV show where I could just redefine my own truth. But it was Socrates and it was Aristotle who helped shape me and helped shape that morality into something positive, not just shaking me out of a fantasy, but shaking me into, or giving me a foundation for reality. So the Bible shook me out of my false reality, and Socrates and Aristotle helped me to build a new reality and to think heavy, deep thoughts, and also give me the confidence to speak and to speak my mind and my opinions. So if you ever get a chance to read Plato or Aristotle, do it. Although if you're giving these books to someone who's younger, don't start off with Aristotle. Aristotle's very dry and boring. Start off with Plato. It's dialogues, and the dialogues are great. All right, see you all in the next one.